Did you know that in South Africa, we were definitely the first country in Africa, but first country of many countries in the world where automated transmissions in these big rigs come as standard. Many people would think, remember trucks as these synchro gearboxes and things that, make a hell of a noise and double clutch. We don't even do double clutch anymore. It is all automated transport to help, to assist the driver with some of the decision making, as he operates the vehicle. Because I will also make the point, drivers is still the most critical factor or aspect of our whole, transport industry in terms of fuel consumption, in terms of operating costs and so on. Secondly, there is what we call in the truck training. Now, we have telematics available, and I'm just showing you one here. It's a product called Fleetboard, where in our latest vehicles now, while the driver is actually driving, he gets feedback as to how he's driving the vehicle. And some of these are in German. For those of you that want a German lesson, come to me afterwards and I will translate for you. But this is while the vehicle is driving, it's actually showing the driver how is he performing on a number of different variables. When you drive a vehicle, how you use your accelerator pedal is critically important. So this system will analyze on the go how the driver is using the vehicle and then give him or her a message to say, listen, you need to be a little bit more aggressive or a little bit less aggressive. And this is, as I say, across a number of different parameters, whether it's braking, whether it's accelerating, whether it's driving in a weaving matter. So as I say, this happens on real time while the vehicle is going. We also have real-time tracking, and this is one of our competitors is this now made standard in their vehicles, where we have a system called DriveCam, for example, where we have video cameras installed in this vehicle, one camera facing the road and one facing the driver, all right? And this thing records constantly. And when there's an incident, now an incident is termed as a sudden brake or something that is not normal in the driving, this system records 11 seconds before and 11 seconds after the incident. Now this assists companies tremendously with insurance issues, because now we know exactly what happened at the time of the accident. It protects the drivers, it takes all the gray discussion out of the discussion. Incidentally, I also make the point here that there are, of course, some concerns about driver privacy. I know many of my customers are not using the system because they're saying that, this is actually impeding or actually encroaching on the driver's privacy, and that you should rather trust your drivers to do the right thing. Of course, as I said to you earlier, the driver will remain critical, in this operation. If I now go to my second, I've covered the driver side now. Let's talk about road safety. Now, I know that there was a statements made that there are lots of different institutions looking after road safety and accidents in South Africa. But I don't have to show you these pictures to tell you that we are still far from where we want to be. And there are a number of programs launched. We have Arrive Alive, iPledge from Imperial, and we have the Decade of Action, which we launched a couple of years ago. Now, these programs, are all aligned in terms of what is the objectives, all right? And so are we as operators, and so are we as manufacturers. But there's definitely still a requirement for us to work much closer. And over lunchtime, we discussed it a little bit, that we need to get closer and communicate a little bit more and coordinate these programs, because this scourge of accidents is simply not acceptable. So what is the technology that we use in this case? Now, the first one I want to just discuss with you is something called lane assist. Now, for those of you so I have lane assist, active brake assist. I'm going to go through them for you next now. So first one is lane assist. Now, lane assist also comes standard in many vehicles in South Africa, where there's technology in the vehicle that picks up the road marking in the middle of the road and also the edge of the road. Because as vehicles, especially the European vehicles, become more and more comfortable, we find that drivers fall asleep. Now, that's why you see these arresters on the way down to Cape Town, Laingsburg, Beaufort West. Because can you imagine how boring this is to drive a truck at 90 kilos an hour for hours and hours, all right? And actually, because the vehicle is doing most of the driving, you just have to hold. So we find that in the crucial hours, just after lunch, like this time, and early in the morning, we find that our drivers, fall asleep, and this is why you have these huge accidents. So this system actually warns audibly the driver when he either goes across the middle line of the road or the edge of the road. And you'll see that we believe that these things are invented and tested in trucks, and then we introduce them to the passenger cars. My passenger car colleagues don't like that statement. The other one is active brake assist, which, you know, one of the issues is we find that if there's an incident, that the driver, the human reaction, is many times too slow to actually prevent the accident. So we have systems in place now in vehicles that actually pick up the stationary or even slowly moving object and immediately takes over from the driver. What the system does, it accelerates the braking much faster than a human being can do this, but it also does it in a way, because remember we have ABS, anti-brake locking systems in the vehicles to prevent the vehicle from skidding. This is just another way that we prevent accidents. This is now getting quite sexy. Drowsiness detection. Now in the car, you know, we have the normal drowsiness detection where as you drive the vehicle, there's algorithms that work out that this doesn't seem normal and it would warn you, okay? But the one that is actually quite more interesting is that in Europe they already have systems where they monitor the eyes of the driver, and if the person starts blinking slower or, I don't know, faster, this thing would also, you know, audibly, you know, warn the driver to either, you know, take a rest. By the way, I was on a radio program recently, late at night. They have a program where the drivers phone in. And what was interesting for me is that most of the drivers that phone in had been driving 12 to 14 hours already. Now, you know that legally this is not allowed, and responsible companies don't do this. But this, you know, these are facts that we still have in the country as we drive towards, you know, high efficiency, and at least this system will assist with us. This was another interesting thing that one of our competitors is testing as a sort of road train drive-by-wire. So how this works is a truck is on its way to Durban, all right, and you are also on your way to Durban, or let's say Joburg and Pretoria. So what you do is you come with your car behind this truck, it electronically connects to the vehicle, the electronics takes over the driving of your car, all right, and you stay in a road train. So, you know, what this means is that you can actually, you know, the distance between the vehicles could be, you know, actually marginal. But because electronics is managing this whole thing, all right, the drivers now actually do not have to drive the vehicles, can sit and read a paper or, you know, play on the iPad and so on.